Hi everybody and welcome back to Enjoy English with Mrs. A. I'm Mrs. A and today's video is all about solving your doubts with the English language. A while back I let you know that I was going to get a Q&A together trying to solve your doubts in English. So here we are. And I'm going to do two versions, one in English and one in Spanish for my students. And of course, because this is my living room, I thought it would be fun to record in a setting that is not my office where I normally record. So since we are in my living room right now, we're gonna get surprise visits such as this one. Meet one of my cats, say hi. You are loud, man. You are so loud. So, we're gonna get the party started, but for the ones who just landed on this channel, hi, I'm Mrs. A. I've been an English teacher for 12 years already. I'm teaching English in Spain. I taught English at the university. I'm an author of English textbooks as well. And here I am on YouTube trying to solve some of your doubts. Let's start with our very first. Jose Antonio says, hi, Mrs. A. Talking to a friend of mine who he is American, he told me that Spanish speakers have a thick tongue when we speak. Any advices to improve our pronunciation? By the way, your Spanish accent is almost perfect. Great job. Thank you so much, Jose Antonio. This is great. It's great to hear because I had such a hard time learning how to properly pronounce things in Spanish, and it's still not easy. It's been 12 years of practicing and I'm still not there yet. It's not perfect. It's decent, but it's not perfect. The thick tongue was very funny. Maybe that's why I married a Spaniard. If you do have an American friend and you're speaking together, oh my God, this guy is very heavy. So if you do have an American friend and you're practicing together, just get him to correct those words that you are mispronouncing. Ask him to tell you what words exactly you're mispronouncing and practice those words together. Pronunciation is difficult most of the time, basically because we speak different languages with different sounds, and it's all in the music of the language. So when I started learning Spanish, it was very clear to me where one word began and where it ended. Let's look at this sentence. Tell him to come. Nobody speaks like that. Nobody speaks like that. So in English, the trick is the music of the language means making a whole sentence sound like one word. So you need to go through it as fast as you can. And sometimes that means eating up a few words or a few sounds that you otherwise would pronounce. If we look at the word him, when we have this word alone, and we need to pronounce it, we pronounce it him. But when we have it in a sentence, then have a look here. Tell him to come. Tell him to come. That him becomes im in order to get the party started and get to the end of the sentence quicker. This is why many students maybe spend 20 years studying English and then they go to an English-speaking country and they don't understand anything, because as important as the language itself and the vocabulary and the grammar and everything else is the music of the language. And I think this is something that teachers need to insist on in class, making sure the students become familiar with the music of the language. Look at the sentence again. Tell him to come. Tell him to come. There's no space. I don't stop and breathe after every word. So I think maybe in order to improve your pronunciation, what you have to do is pay attention. And especially if you have friends, get them to correct you. Get them to pronounce things with you and practice together. Now, I don't know how to pronounce your name. I am so sorry if I'm making a big mistake right now, but I know in Spanish, you don't pronounce the H. So it's Nawel. Please, I'm so sorry if I'm making a big mistake right now. I'm so sorry. So Nawel wants to know how to apply the rather than expressions regards from Southland. Hi back. So rather than is an expression that we use to express alternatives and preferences. We use it to show we give more importance to some things over other things. For example, I would rather walk than run. I'd rather walk than run. I'd rather have pizza than pasta. What does this mean? I have two alternatives. I have two things. But between A and B, my preference is clearly A or B. So I would rather do this than this. Hilda wants to know, I just want to thank you for cheering up to learn this beautiful language. Thank you. I want to improve my accent, but on the other hand, the accent I have is what defines part of my personality. It feels like I should be proud of it. Arriba, Mexico. Thank you so much for your question. And I just want to say this, please never, ever, ever be ashamed of your accent. Accents make you sound interesting and fun and sexy. My husband has an accent and he sounds incredibly sexy to my ears. So there's that. Look at Penelope Cruz. Look at Sofia Vergara. They're great women, great professionals of the industry. And because of their accent, they're getting casted in a lot of movies. Now, a very different thing altogether is when your accent limits other people's ability to understand you. It can happen. And if that's the case, yes, you do need to work on your accent. Because if you want to get a job in an English-speaking country or at work, you need to maintain a lot of conversations in English, or you just want to make new friends. The ability to communicate is necessary. And if you have a professional necessity, then of course, yes, that needs to be addressed. Am I being asked to repeat things all the time? If the answer is yes, then of course you should try and polish that accent a little bit. And then of course, there's the issue of language fluency when you're trying to prepare an official exam. For high levels like C1 and C2, it is expected for your accent not to interfere with your fluency. And what I mean by this is, yes, it's okay to have an accent. It's sexy, it's fun, it's interesting, it's exotic. But if it's strong enough to make people not understand you, then yes, we have a problem we need to work on. As simple as that. I just want to send you a big hug, Jose Antonio, and I just want to thank everybody for commenting on the thread in my videos. You are just amazing. And I'm so grateful for your response. I have no words, really. Thank you. Another question. What are you thinking, in your opinion, about using dictionaries, phrase books, slang dictionaries, idioms books, etc.? Interesting topic to detail. Love you back. I think nowadays you have so many resources at your disposal, so many things that can contribute to your language progress. But attention here. Learning how to dose the material you're working on will lead to success or failure. The idea here is that you can use whatever you want in the right amount. People don't normally know this, and students don't normally know this. Self-studying is a very tricky road because there are a lot of risks involved, and one of these risks is getting too much information because you don't know the right amount of grammar and the right amount of vocabulary and the right amount of every single thing you should be learning, and then you make an unhealthy mix of things and you end up having an overdose of everything. So at the end of the day, I think the important thing here is to try and figure out the proportion of what you're studying. Let's say you're studying vocabulary about animals. Okay, it's great to study idioms about animals. It's okay to kind of connect what you're studying with your topic. Miguel Angel, Miguel Angel, hi. I'd like to know how to improve my speaking and listening. This is a question that I get asked a lot, and I am very happy to answer it for you. In English, we have an expression, practice makes perfect. Practice makes perfect. It's true, but what is also true is that sometimes students don't know where to start. Like, I want to improve my speaking and I want to improve my listening, but where do I start? Well, first of all, you need to be very aware of your English level. English levels range from A1, which is nothing, A2 elementary, B1 pre-intermediate, B2 upper intermediate, C1 advanced, C2 proficiency. So this is from 0 to hero. That's it. So you need to be aware of your level first. If you want to improve your speaking, you need to be able to pair up with another person of more or less your same level. You don't normally find two people with the exact same level. That's like finding a unicorn. But dialogue takes two, just like it takes two to tango. So finding another person who you can practice with can be a great motivator for you to keep studying and practicing if you know you have another person studying exactly what you are studying. As far as listening goes, knowing your level, you can start practicing listening exercises fit for your level. Of course, if you're level A2 and you turn Netflix on and you start watching a movie in English and you're going to be overwhelmed of what's going on there. So addressing that necessity and not allowing it to become overwhelming is imperative in your studying and learning process. You can find a speaking partner on Facebook, on Instagram. There are tons of groups of students who have the exact same objectives. So joining these groups and just being active there and seeing, okay, I'm clicking really well with this person. We have the same level. We have the same objective. Why don't we practice together? It takes two to tango. It takes two to have a dialogue. Remember that. Nicaraguense Canada wants to know, hi, why is it so difficult to learn English? I'd like to have a magic ball to learn all the languages, but it's been tough for me. I don't know what to do. I feel frustrated. Yes, of course you do. I used to feel frustrated as well. And I still get frustrated when, maybe I'm trying to learn something new and it's not easy. But I just like to say it's an honor for me that you are learning my language. And I am so grateful and I appreciate that so much. And I'm sure all native speakers share in the feeling of joy when we have somebody else learning our language. But try to remember that language learning is a journey, not a destination. And it gets tough. Sometimes you'll get frustrated. Sometimes it's just going to be difficult. It's like going to the gym. I always say this. It's like going to the gym. If you have a partner, it helps with the motivation. So I found that classes in groups of 2 are more dynamic and more interesting for the students and they enjoy them more. So having that partner there to practice conversation and just to study together, just the idea that, okay, I'm going to study this because my partner is going to study and I don't want to make an ass of myself. This serves as a very powerful motivator to get it together. James Trueblood. Hi, I'm from India. I found your channel today. I learned about preposition very clearly. I have a request. Can you make more videos about prepositions because your teaching techniques are next level? Thank you so much. Wow. Love from India. Next level, eh? I love India. From the distance, of course. I've never been to India before, but it's on my list. My husband goes to India on a regular basis for work, and he says the people are just fantastic and so welcoming and so nice. So I'm excited to visit. Thank you for your kind words, and I promise I'm going to make more preposition videos. XYZ says, hi, Mrs. A. I would really want to know how can you British people, I'm not British, use phrasal verbs? Because for me, it's so hard. Thank you very much, Mrs. A. You're the best. No, you're the best. Thank you so much for your comment. In native English, in informal English, phrasal verbs are immensely popular. Now, when you have to speak formal English or send an email or write a report, phrasal verbs are not encouraged because they're just so informal. However, if I think about it, I don't know why exactly. I think it's because we're just very used to them. It's more natural for me to say write down rather than write. And I cannot explain why. But if you want to learn phrasal verbs, my suggestion to you would be to start small. Learn 3 or 4 phrasal verbs every week and try to do something with those phrasal verbs every day. As in, for example, you have 1 week, 7 days to learn 3-4 phrasal verbs. Day 1, try to write sentences with those phrasal verbs. Day 2, try to write questions. Try to integrate those phrasal verbs within an essay, a letter, an article. If you have a speaking partner, force yourself to integrate those phrasal verbs in a dialogue. It's not going to be easy. You're going to have to push yourself real hard. But the more you use them, the more they will become part of your vocabulary. And this is so important. If you want to support me and support my work here on YouTube, get my book on Amazon. And if you'd like to have English classes, check out enjoyenglish.es. This is the website of my teacher friends. They are all amazing and they give classes face-to-face in Spain. Online, of course, as well for the rest of the world. Also, check their website out for free material for teachers and students every week. The Spanish Q&A is going to be out soon and it's going to be longer because most of my audience is Spanish speaking. So most of the questions that you guys asked me were in Spanish. So I'm going to answer those questions in Spanish. Now, if you're watching this and you want to learn English with me, I want you to try and leave a comment in English below. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to be afraid of making mistakes because mistakes are good. When it comes to learning a language, mistakes are encouraged. Mistakes are good. We can learn and progress so much from our mistakes that it's going to be absolutely amazing. And of course, before I end my video today, I'd like to show you another one of my cats. All right, so, oh my God, dude, you don't even fit. So look at this beautiful specimen. This is one of my cats. Oh my God, he's a small lion. He's a real cutie. He's a Maine Coon, an American breed, very cute. We would both like to thank you for watching, so please subscribe, like, and leave us a comment down below.